Leaving the coast, I stop at Port Hedland for fuel and supplies before heading inland to the incredible Karijini National Park for a few days camping and hiking. I visit Tom Price, then make my way to Newman before heading north on the Marble Bar Road to Doolena Gorge. Arriving back on the coast, I spend a couple of days at Pardue Station driving and hiking.
Welcome to episode 9. I'm in Karijini National Park. The drive from Port Hedland was interesting as the environment went from basically flat featureless plains of savanna and mulga country until the ranges and mountains of the Karijini National Park appeared on the horizon, and some of them were quite impressive. I've got up early this morning and walked my way into Joffre Gorge, and it is pretty impressive. Unfortunately the sun's in the wrong place to show you a decent video of it, but I'll try and get some pictures later on. I'm going to make my way around to a couple of waterfalls and a few more gorges and things to see over the next few days, but definitely a lovely place. A bit of cloud cover today. It's the first real cloud cover I've seen in 2 months, so looking forward to my time here. Hopefully we'll get some nice images.
There were lots of road trains on the way into Karijini.
Climbing down into the gorge, it becomes apparent that the gold of the Pilbara iron ore is everywhere here, and unfortunately even untouchable national parks are not prone to capitalising on this. A fair hunk of Karijini's been switched over to mining, and it looks like that will not stop in the future. So I just hope places like this are left around for my grandchildren to see. It's sometimes a shame when finances overrule the environment. This is still in Joffre Falls at the head of the waterfall, and I hope the images come out alright because it's quite spectacular, and the waterfall's probably drowning me out, but amazing views. The power of the water over millions of years has created this incredible sight.
Spinifex pigeon, and this is a little Corruna. Mount Bruce is the second highest peak in Western Australia.
I've driven to the top of Mount Nameless at Tom Price here, overlooking the mines, and it definitely is a four-wheel drive track, and it's pretty steep. I'm just letting the transmission cool down, it's got a bit warm, but absolutely stunning views. But unfortunately, maybe it's an indication of what's going to become of a lot more of the Karijini National Park. But I suppose finances have to take some precedence here. But still an amazing vista and beautiful country. Still on the top of Mount Nameless, but the views are so spectacular I thought I'd have to show you a few more. So absolutely amazing countryside, and the vistas just open up on every side of the mountain. It's very, very beautiful. I'll see if I can pan around a bit and give you a better look.
Of the famous Western Australian wildflowers.
I'm here at Oxer Gorge, and there's not a single photo or video I can take that does justice to this incredible view. There's 4 gorges that all meet here, and they are impossibly deep and narrow, and it's so dark down there I can't get a decent picture, and if I zoom in down there you lose the impact of just how far down it is. Another beautiful morning and another beautiful place. This is Knox Gorge in Karijini National Park. It's still quite early in the morning. I'm making my way through the park. It's my last full day here, so there's still quite a few other places to see, and might even catch up with Steve Johns. I believe he's staying at the Dales Gorge. Anyway, I'll give you a quick look through here. I've taken a small detour to walk up one of these smaller gorges and hopefully find some wildlife. And beautiful place, beautiful morning, but I'm walking through spinifex again. I hate walking through spinifex, but anyway, it's still pretty cool, so the slithery things are hopefully still asleep. But really gorgeous place. This is Fortescue Falls in Dales Gorge, Karijini National Park. I must be getting more patient in my old age. Yesterday I had to wait for some young female German tourists getting semi-naked to get my photos in the gorge, and this morning it was young semi-naked British tourists. So I patiently waited about an hour and a half till they finished their frolicking so I could get my photos. It's a beautiful place.
The girls finally got out of the pool and got dressed, and left me to take my photos in peace.
I left Karijini early this morning and made my way via Newman, where I refueled and got a few supplies, and I'm travelling along the Marble Bar Road. I've stopped at somewhere called Roy Hill Station. There's been quite a few mines along the road, and I'll spend the night here. That's just a roadside stop before making my way into Marble Bar tomorrow, and I'm going to spend the night at a place called Doolena Gorge. So it's all going well. I'm enjoying myself, lots of bird life around, and my mate the flies have come back though. It's not a welcome visitor. Anyway, we'll see what progresses tomorrow. Last night was incredibly windy at my roadside stop on the Marble Bar Road. I've got up this morning and left most of the weather but not the wind behind me. I've made my way through Nungadeen, a little Aboriginal community, and we're about 100 k's south of Marble Bar, Australia's hottest town. Today's the coldest day that I've had on the trip. So quite spectacular countryside I'm driving through. The road conditions are pretty good, not much traffic, and I'll make my way, have a look around Marble Bar and then into Doolena Gorge for the night. So looking forward to that. Well, this is the Marble Bar that Marble Bar is named after. Unfortunately, it's not marble, it's jasper. but the colours in here are quite extraordinary. Put a bit of water on it, it brings it out, which I have pre-prepared some. So let's have a look. I'm at the World War II Corunna Downs Air Force Base. Its location was kept top secret, and it's a pretty remote area now, and I can only imagine how remote it must have been in 1943. B-24 long-range bombers, Liberators, operated out of here from the RAAF and the United States Army Air Force. They conducted 14-hour-long bombing missions of the Japanese and played a role in helping to prevent the invasion of Australia. The conditions here must have been absolutely atrocious back then. The incredible heat, the dust. They survived off basically canned rations, and there was a lot of people here. The B-24s, the bombs were all loaded by hand, and you can still see the aircraft bays. They're made to look like sand hills or jump ups dotted around the place. Other than the runways, which is the one behind me, and off over my right shoulder is the taxiway coming back. It's just incredible to think that so many people were here defending our country in such a remote location. It was picked because it was outside the range of most of the Japanese bombers, and its location was kept secret because it was pretty hard to find. It was very cleverly camouflaged. The spinifex grass also on the runways helped hide it, so the chances of it being found were pretty remote. But I'll have a look around, and maybe I can send the drone up to get a better idea of what the base looks like. 74 years ago, this would have been where a B-24 Liberator was parked. They were spread all over the place and quite heavily camouflaged with camouflage nets over them, so the base would have been pretty much all but invisible from the air. So quite an interesting sight in Australia's history.